Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Yashodanandana Jaya Rajajana Ranjana Jaya Yashodanandana Jaya Brajajana Ranjana Jaya Jamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Madhava, Radha Madhava, Radha Madhava, Radhe. Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Jai Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki. Jai Vishnupad Paramahansa Pari Vrajagacharya Stutara Sarasri Srimad Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Jai Vishnupad Paramahansa Pari Vrajagacharya Stutara Sarasri Srimad Divine Grace Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Sarasvati Thakur Srila Prabhupada ki. Ananta Koti Vaishnu Vrinda ki. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki. Prem se Gaur Sri Krishna Caitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shiva Sri Gaur Bhakti Vrinda ki. Shri Radha Krishna Gop Gopinath Shamakun Radhakun Giri Govardhan ki. Shri Vrindavan Dham ki, Mayapur Dham ki, Nilachal Jagannath Puri Dham ki, Ganga Maya ki, Jamuna Maya ki, Bhakti Devi ki, Srimati Tulsi Maharani ki, Samaveta Bhakti Vrinda ki, Their Lordship Shri Shri Radha Radhanath ki, Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki, Giriraj Govardhan ki, Janita Go Premanande. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the lotus feet of Sri Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna. So we continue reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 8, Text 54. Huh? Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Okay, so it goes like this. And guess what? The Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya is in the verse as well. Haribol. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Mantrena nena devasya kuryadravya mayim buddha saparyam vividhai dravyai deshakala vibhagavit. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Mantrena nena devasya kuryadravya mayim buddha saparyam vividhai dravyai deshakala vibhagavit. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Mantrena nena devasya kuryadravya mayim buddha saparyam vividhai dravyai deshakala vibhagavit. Devotees, Prabhus. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Mantrenena devasya kuryadravya mayim buddha saparyam vividhai dravyai deshakala vibhagavit. Go for it, Hari, Hari. Govinda. Anybody else? Mataji's? Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Mantrena nena devasya kuryadravya buddha saparyam vividhai dravyai deshakala vibhagavit. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Mantranena nidevasya kuryadravya mayim buddha Samparyam vividhe dravye Deshakala vibhagavet. Everybody else, Hare Krishna. Okay, so let's do the word for word translation. Om, O my Lord, Namaha, I offer my respectful obeisances. Bhagavate, unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Vasudevaya, unto the Supreme Lord. Vasudevaya. Oh yeah, sorry, that was unto the Supreme Lord Vasudeva. Mantrena, by this hymn or mantra. Anena, this, Devasya, of the Lord. Kuryat, one should do. Dravya, Mayam, physical. Buddha, one who is learned. Saparyam, worship by the prescribed method. Vividhai, with varieties. Dravye, paraphernalia. Desha, according to country. Kala, time. Vibhagavit, one who knows the divisions. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. No, I'll read this and then we'll do the word for word later, right? Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. This is the 12-syllable mantra for worshipping Lord Krishna. Right? Most of you who are Brahman initiated, you'll know. You'll chant this, right? Or you'll chant the Om Pranava. You don't chant Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya when you'll chant your gayatri's, but the Om is a significant japa because it's mainly chanted by Brahmanas. With the exception of few others that were given the privilege to chant Om. It is a very powerful mantra. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. This is a 12-syllable mantra for worshipping Lord Krishna. One should install the physical forms of the Lord, and with the chanting of the mantra, one should offer flowers and fruits and other varieties of foodstuffs, exactly according to the rules and regulations prescribed by authorities. But this should be done in consideration of place, time, and attendant conveniences and inconveniences. This is very important, right? Maybe you can all repeat this verse. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. This is a 12-syllable mantra for worshipping Lord Krishna. One should install the physical forms of the Lord, and with the chanting of the mantra, should offer flowers and fruits and other varieties of foodstuffs, exactly according to rules and regulations prescribed by authorities. But this should be done in consideration of place, time, and attended conveniences and inconveniences. Okay, so purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Ijai. So, this is a very long purport. This is like the whole class. makes it easier. So Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya is known as Dashakshara mantra. This mantra is chanted by Vaishnava devotees and it begins with Pranava or Omkara. There is an injunction that those who are not Brahmanas cannot pronounce the Pranava mantra. But Dhruva Maharaj was born as a Kshatriya. Right? He wasn't a Brahmana. But then how did he chant this mantra? We have to continue hearing. He had once admitted before Narada Muni that as a Kshatriya he was not able to accept Narada's instructions of renunciation and mental equilibrium, which are the concern of a Brahmana. Still, although not a Brahmana but a Kshatriya, Dhruva was allowed on the authority of Narada to pronounce the Pranava Omkara. Now, if you go into all the Hindu shops and stuff, they'll have the recitation being played. Om, Om, the whole day. And those are not Brahmanas that is reciting. Anyone just comes in and recites. You'll go, they'll say, Om Bhur Bhava Swaha Tat Sat Vidur Varenyam. They are not Brahmanas. There was no authority that was actually given to them to even be playing this on speakers. These mantras are supposed to be chanted to oneself. But it's interesting how Kali Yuga is progressing. This is very significant, especially in India. The caste Brahmanas object greatly when persons from the other castes who are not born in Brahmana families recite the Pranava mantra. But here is tacit proof. That's the first time I'm hearing this word. Tacit proof that if a person accepts the Vaishnava mantra or Vaishnava way of worshipping the deity, he is allowed to chant the Pranava mantra. In the Bhagavad Gita, the Lord personally accepts that anyone, even of a low species, can be elevated to the highest position and go back home, back to Godhead, simply if he worships properly. The prescribed rules, as stated here by Narada, are that one should accept the mantra through a bona fide spiritual master. That's the process, right? And here, the mantra, from which year? Let's see, those who got the Brahman initiation. From which year did your spiritual master give you this mantra? Right here. That's true. You can never forget that. Right? In the Bhagavad Gita, the Lord personally accepts that anyone, even of low species, can be elevated to the highest position and go back. Okay, I said that, right? The prescribed rules, as stated here by Narada Muni, that one should accept the mantra through the bona fide spiritual master and hear the mantra in the right ear. Not only should one chant or murmur the mantra, but in front of him he must have a deity or physical form of the Lord. So the prescribed method is when you chant in your Gayatri, you should be in front of Srila Prabhupada or in front of the deities. It's very powerful actually. Even if your spiritual master is presently in front of you, you chant your Gayatri, it's a very powerful experience because there's an exchange. And especially the pujaris who are doing offerings, when they offer bhoga to the Lord, they go and immediately they sit down to chant the Gayatri because there's a transfer, there's actually communication going on. And it's very powerful, it's mystical actually. This Gayatri mantra is very, very mystical. Or even more mystical is the Hare Krishna mantra, right? Is that the Hare Krishna mantra brings you to the platform of Brahmanical culture. With a contaminated consciousness, how are you going to chant the Gayatri? Not possible. That's why Srila Prabhupada said that he's creating a society of Brahmanas. Because only on the Brahmanical platform can you chant Gayatri. Right? And one should not chant it loudly. You should chant it silently, or Prabhupada says murmur. And in front of the deity, or but it time, place, and circumstances. Sometimes you're out on Sankirtan, and I used to find under a tree, I should go and sit down somewhere. I should try and make it clean, and then I should sit and chant my Gayatri. I remember the times I used to go out the whole day in town, and I should go there by the city hall, and I should chant my Gayatri, find a quiet place, and I would spend the whole day there. Now those are all memories. Of course, when the Lord appears, it is no longer a physical form. For example, when an iron rod is made red hot in a fire, it is no longer iron, it is fire. Similarly, when we make a form of the Lord, whether of wood or stone or metal, jewels or paint, or even a form within the mind, it is bona fide, spiritual, transcendental form of the Lord. When it says that it's not physical, it means it's not material. That's what Prabhupada is trying to explain here. Not only must one receive the mantra from a bona fide spiritual master like Narada Muni, who is representative in disciplic succession, but one must chant the mantra. You hear that? Not only must one receive the mantra from a bona fide spiritual master like Narada Muni, who is representative in disciplic succession, but one must chant the mantra until you leave your body. It's like after 15 years, the devotee doesn't have any enthusiasm to continue chanting this mantra. And that's there. Have you ever thought about that? It requires great, intense faith to actually continue with Krishna consciousness until your last breath. Anything can happen in between, and we have to prepare ourselves to be strong. What Prabhupada says in the Srimad Bhagavatam first canto in that purport, he says the devotee is very cautious to protect himself, not to find himself in difficulty. That means when you're chanting your rounds, you have to be attentive. Best thing is sit in one place, don't leave. Even if your mind tells you, go and get that water. No, you tell your mind now, you listen to me. You are my servant now. So you chant and let the mind hear. The mind, when you first start chanting, you're like a little child. Raghunath Bhatta Prabhu was reading the other day about Prabhupada mentioning in the purport that actually sadhana bhakti is actually just a start. So lots of us have said, on your marks, get set, and when they said ready, everybody gets stunned. And when the guy shoots, some people starts running to finish the race, but a lot of people don't even wake up. That's a fact. We think we take initiation and we're already running, but actually no. Your initiation, you'll really feel the effect when there's no more material desires. That's when you know you are moving. Rather than that, on the beginning platform, when you said, on your marks, get steady. And you say, no, not now, not now. Not now, not now. That guy is already firing a thing. He says, hey, this is the rules and regulations of the race. You have to listen to the shot. So that's why it's always nice to make sure. Make sure that you practice it properly. When you're taking your initiation, you are fully confident. You are fully confident. Confident means there's no fear. There's no fear of failure. Why we have fear? We have fear that we're going to fail. When you're going to fail? In the future. The future hasn't come now. So worry about what you're doing now. Chant your rounds attentively. Forget what you have done in the past. That's the past. Especially now when you take your second initiation at another birth. So that means you are supposed to be on a higher platform. Your Brahman initiation is meant for devotees who are ready for the Brahman platform. Right? That's a spiritual platform. So when we take Brahman initiation, it's actually a very serious thing. Brahman initiation are meant for devotees who are a little more advanced. Hare Krishna, Shri Radha Radhanath ki, Shri Caitanya Mahaprabhu ki, Giriraj Govardhan ki, Shri Prabhupada ki. What all has been said, the actual fact is that Krishna consciousness is not difficult. Krishna consciousness is not difficult. And it's amazing how a lot of people come and a lot of people will leave. It's because it's so easy to be attracted to the material energy. But when you become Krishna conscious, then you have to actually fear the material energy. Prabhupada said that. Prabhupada said, one of my concerns is that the devotees do not fear the material energy. So you see, once upon a time we had a brahmachari ashram with so many enthusiastic young boys, young devotees. Kirtans, we were being like, Radhika Jivan, you should be in the air all the time. Yeah. Enthusiastic, you should be bubbling with Krishna consciousness. It was a constant thing that every time if you come for Guru Puja, everybody is dancing. And then you come 15 years later, it's not going to be that way because things change. Our minds are changing. The world is changing. But the devotee remains consistent, although there's changes in the world. And Prabhupada said if 1% of the population become a devotee, then the world become like Vaikuntha. 1%. And I was sitting down and actually, from my old place, I used to always chant here for many years. And I was actually enjoying my chanting. And I felt, wow, this is like old times. And this is great. So this memory will stay with me. That many years that I actually put in there and I sat and I chanted my rounds there will always be with me, no matter where I go and what I do. That memory will protect me. So when you practice your Krishna consciousness, it should actually affect the heart. We should not practice whimsically. As Prabhupada is saying here, should be according to the rules and regulations that are given by authorities. You go to Russia, your deity worship is not going to be like what they're doing here. They don't have the same vegetables that you have. The quality of the vegetables may not be even the same. Right? The devotees probably may not even be the same. The devotees probably may be more austere because it's extremely cold there. Difficult. We have good sunshine. We went to Belita the other day. Most of the people took off their clothes and they were bathing under the sun. And then they came with people fully clothed, chanting. And their heads were in the sand. And then we were chanting, but we couldn't see their face. And then suddenly they would look like that. And they checked the Hare Krishna. Even I had socks on. And the guy said, what is this? But the chanting was going on. And we never stopped, even though it was hot. And we didn't look the same as them. In many ways. We didn't look the same as them. But we continued chanting. And you know what? People found ways to get their Lakshmi. They found the ways to get the Lakshmi and part with the Lakshmi. But it was a beautiful exchange, right? And there was a little child. He was in the ocean and he just started going like this. And that was his kirtan. But his mother was so shocked that she probably haven't seen her son do something like that. And this was the kirtan. So sometimes when we chanting, we don't get the effect of somebody else, Probably they are more sincere than what we are. But actually it is mentioned that if you are more sincere in your chanting, the effect can be felt by others. As we say, those who lead the kirtan must have good japa. Otherwise you have a priest performing the sacrifice, but he's not potent. So all he does is create smoke. So that's the fact. Actually, we will practice Krishna consciousness for many years, but if you don't practice properly, then there will be intermittent experiences of Krishna consciousness, but not consistent. Intermittent means now and again. You'll experience some mercy from Krishna, but not consistent. So in order to progress, we need to be consistent in our sadhana, in our practice. And our intentions must be there to please Krishna. The other morning, Radhika Jivan's verse, 5 places you can locate the deity, form of Lord Narayana or Krishna. One is fire, water, the altar, the temple. 4, and the devotee's heart. So we know we all have the Lord in our heart, everybody, even the people out there. But there's a process in order, because the Lord is in the heart, but He's lying dormant. Right? Or He's lying as Narayana or Paramatma. But when the worshipper worships the Lord, then that Istadev, that particular deity that he has an attraction for, appears in his heart. It's no more the form and Paramatma feature. It's now he can even be the two-hand form of Radha and Krishna, playing his flute in the devotee's heart. Hanuman had the Lord in his heart. It was Sitaram, right? So it's not that you only have Krishna in your heart. And Prabhupada says Krishna is not alone. Krishna is with his companions. And in our case, it will be Radha Radhanath, right? So if we chant our rounds attentively, if you read Srimad Bhagavatam regularly, as you all do, then soon the Lord will appear in the heart of the devotee. And it's hard to get the Lord into the heart of the devotee, it's explained. Because the Lord is Tribhanga Sundar. He's bent in 3 places. It's very difficult to get him in that position in the heart. But once he's in there, it's very difficult for him to come out. Right? Especially that form of Krishna, because Krishna conquers everything. And if Krishna conquers your heart with his beauty, there's nothing else that will actually make you attracted to it in any way in this world. So Brahma even explains that, my Lord, I'm manufacturing all these bodies for you, but I please pray that I don't be attracted to them. Isn't? So how much so is that we should be careful. That we want to go back to Godhead, that's initial. When we came to this movement, we wanted to go back to Godhead. We had it with this material world, right? We've been through a lot. Most of us. Been through a lot. Lifetime after lifetime, the realizations have They manifest to the point as, I just want to worship the Lord, isn't? And then you come to worship the Lord. And then there's many other things you can be attracted to, apart from the worship of the deity of the Lord, that you initially came for. And so we have to pray. We have to pray. We have to learn how to pray to the deity externally, that he can come within. And then we will always be in constant contact with him. Because forgetting Krishna means suffering. Suffering. It means taking another birth. Why do we want to do that? We have to remember that I have this opportunity. I may not be advanced, but all my service that I did for the Lord cannot be taken away. And the fact that I'm still around, it means I still have the opportunity to progress. Right? And there's no loss or diminution, but you can halt your progress for a few lifetimes. Right? But as you say, you have to become a winner, because the winners don't give up, even though it may become really difficult. Devotees don't give up. And if you are sincere, even if it becomes difficult, then the Lord will make all arrangements to distract you from your material desires, if you are sincere. But if you just want to go back out there and enjoy the material energy, then Krishna will say, I can't stop you, right? I can't stop you. You want to go and enjoy, you can go and enjoy, but I'll make it very distasteful. And that's a fact. You can try. You can try to enjoy this material energy. It will become very distasteful, because you will always remember the ananda of Krishna consciousness. When you're in that restaurant and you're having that pizza, and that Mahaprasad taste will come. Unique. Even if you go and taste the prasad down in the devotee department, it's not the same as what comes out from the altar even. I mean, even the devotee prasadam is Mahaprasad. It tastes amazing, it's wonderful. People leave everything to come and have the devotee prasad. It's special. But Sri Sri Radha Radhanath Mahaprasad is something that I haven't tasted anywhere. Even I'm there in Port Elizabeth. I always think how I had the privilege of honoring Sri Sri Radha Radhanath Mahaprasad. It is so special. And where I am, there's a big frame of Sri Sri Radha Radhanath there. When I looked at the deities, I said, oh, Sri Sri Radha Radhanath is there. What's his, Jai Krishna put that for me, for my room. Because it was the Lord's arrangement that I served here for some time. So I still have the arrangement where I can pay obeisances to the Lord every day. And that's powerful. There's Caitanya Mahaprabhu Giriraj Sri Sri Radha Radhanath. The most beautiful forms of the Lord. So yeah, don't try and manufacture anything different, Prabhupada says. That everything has to be done according to rules and regulations that are given by authorities. Like when I joined here, the deity worship was on another level. Your heart would be vibrating here when the pujari will blow that conch. Because I remember my hair would stand on end and I would walk through and even look at the deities. But just the effect of everything, because we would, as you practice and when you hear the conch, you should be affected in a very Krishna conscious way. That conch blowing. I remember they had a Pushpa Abhishek for the deities, 2010 or something. It was the 20th anniversary. I can't recall. 2010, I think. But anyway, our service was bringing the flower we had to take the flower petals off the flowers. Right? I was staying on the outside at that time and we had to come in the weekends and do it. We had a good team. Akrura, Acharya Srinivas. What a wonderful team of devotees. And it was all Grihastha devotees. I was part of them, part of the crew. So we would pluck the flower petals from down there, put it in big baskets. Then we had another team to take those baskets under the tent there down here. Then we had to bring those flowers from under the tent. With a chain we would come. And then the festival started, and the entire yard of the temple was decorated with, what do you call that? You must have got a South Indian name for it. What's that? Rangoli. The Rangoli, and the temple was decorated so beautifully. The vibe in the entire temple was surcharged with the spiritual energy that I cannot explain. Is one time we experienced that. They tried to do another festival like that. Didn't work. Even they tried lately, I think. Pushpa Abhishek. Not the same. It's not that was so special. Everyone was actually looking at the whole Abhishek with their jaws dropped. We were in the background bringing the flower petals in. And the concha that was blowing continuously, and the mridangas that was sounded, and the devotee that was singing, it was all so transcendental. We felt like we in Goloka Vrindavan. When we entered through this door here, that vibration was actually hitting the heart. It was like the energy, that was like pushing. That's what it actually is. The devotees that were in the temple room, they were affected by that Krishna conscious energy. Eventually, when we were done with the flowers bringing up, we couldn't take it anymore. We ran into the kirtan. And then something else happened after that. Everybody got up and then there was chaos. It was chaos. Prabhus didn't know who was the Matajis. The Matajis didn't know who were the Prabhus. Everybody was on every side. Even if the person disliked you, they were hitting you with the flowers. It was so amazing, right? Yeah, that was one of the experiences I'll never ever forget. You talk about deity worship and installing the Lord in your heart. Actually, one of those impressions stays with you. It will protect you. At the time of death, when that reel is playing, all your attachments that you have in this lifetime, even your sinful activities, they will all play in front of you. And that one moment that really touched your heart deeply will stop in front of you. I just hope that Pushpa Abhishek event stops for me. Because I tell you, we are not safe in this world. We are only safe in Krishna consciousness. And we have to take shelter. We have to take shelter of the deity worship. Deity worship and preaching. You have to do Harinams, you have to distribute books, you have to preach in whatever way you can. You have to chant your rounds nicely. You have to get involved in kirtan, even if you're shy. You've got to be engaged in this. This is the Yuga Dharma for Kali Yuga. Caitanya Mahaprabhu gave it. What Srila Prabhupada said, if you don't want that, then if you want to study Srimad Bhagavatam, if you're a scholar, then we've got many books. If you like to eat, we've got lots of cuisine that you can take part in. Prabhupada says, if you like eating, you come. So when they come to eat, actually give them. But feed them in such a way that they will be interested in the other things after that. Because they can only eat so much. They have to get purified by the eating. Right? So by the deity worship, we purify our senses. Right? Which is the most easiest sense to start off purification? The tongue, right? Hatha Sri Krishna Namadi Na Bhavet Grahayam Indriyai. Sevan Mukhe Sevado Jivan Mukhe Spurat Yadav. And that's by chanting Hare Krishna mantra and by tasting the Lord's prasadam. Actually, your heart becomes purified. And your heart is connected to all the other senses. So naturally, when your affection for Krishna starts to arouse, when you take prasadam, then your senses will start operating according to Krishna's desires. Right? Who was giving the class the other day? I was watching on the Mayapur TV. So they were saying about honoring prasadam, how your mood should be. Ganga it was, right? Ganga Mataji. She was talking about how we can honor prasadam. So that's quite a thing, and to be honest with you, not many of us are actually practicing honoring prasadam in the right mode. In India, it's much more easier because you're seated on the floor. You can't even talk to the next person much. You're just worried because your legs will start paining. Finish your prasadam and go, isn't? So, yeah, we should honor prasadam in our right consciousness so the purification takes place properly. And chant our rounds attentively. Prabhupada says you hear the vibration. It's like even you can hear the vibration when the air is flowing through the body. There's vibration there. That's how the yogis use that vibration to purify their heart. When they say Om in the mind and they use the breath, the inhaling and the exhaling of the hairs within the body to purify. That hair that is actually flowing in the body is a vibration. If you sit and if you pay attention to your breathing, it's actually very powerful. It's very powerful. Just sit for a moment and close your eyes and concentrate on the hair that is actually moving up and down through the body. It's very powerful. So just imagine if you concentrate on the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, what a powerful effect it has in the heart and in the mind. Your mind changes, your heart changes, your body changes. There's a lot of change that is actually happening in the body. Your mind is changing constantly. We have to have faith in this knowledge, and then your enthusiasm will increase. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, thank you for attending Srimad Bhagavatam class. Are there any comments or critics? Hare Krishna, no comments. Haribol Mataji. Rani.
Hi, Vol. So you were mentioning about how potency of our chanting influences the kirtan. So are there any things that are supportive for our japa that can give us that potency?
I just think that the easiest process is given for the most difficult time. Radhika Jeevan said that, right? Who was it? One of your classes. Somebody, because I'm always hearing the classes that is going on here. Even though I'm far away, I'm actually still here. So the speaker was mentioning that the easiest process is given for the most difficult time. This is the easiest process. There's no other easier process than this. It means that we are in a very difficult period. It's very difficult for us to even do the easiest process. You see? The only way that you can actually understand this is by the mercy of the Lord and your spiritual master. People can tell you a lot of things. But when you are sincere to understand how to do that activity properly, I can tell you, sit down, concentrate on the vibration that you are producing by your chanting. I'm doing it, I have some experience. If you try and do it, it may not even work because you may not even put the effort to actually control your body and your mind at that time. Because when you're chanting, you have to control certain things, your mind, your senses, your body. He wants to move. But it'll be good if you sit and chant. And it'll be very nice for you. But it's not easy, but you have to pray to the spiritual master. You have to pray to your mala even. There's a mantra. I gave a book to Ganga And in that book, there's a prayer to your japa mala. There's a prayer to the holy name. She can make copies or whatever and give it to everybody. It's important for you to pray to the holy name. Pray to your japa mala. Pray to your spiritual master. This is very important. And if your spiritual master has so much of attachment for Harinam, you can't tell me he's not giving you that attachment. He's giving you, but you're not opening your hands to take it, right? Your spiritual master can give you the entire, whatever you need to progress. But we are not actually making ourselves ready for it. It's all from the spiritual master. When you become sincere to the Guru, then everything becomes, then you become truthful. Thing is, you got to become sincere to the Guru. Then, when you become truthful, then the spiritual master, when he sees you, he'll beam. But even though you may not be on that sincerity, on that level of sincerity, when your spiritual master sees you, he'll still smile because you're still here. And that's a fact. It's not easy. To practice this Krishna consciousness is not easy. For those who are still here, you need to cherish them. You need to at least, I actually have a lot of affection for devotees who are still remaining. Sometimes I'm thinking, it's so difficult to actually stay in a temple. It's difficult. Your mind is your enemy. I know when I lived in a temple, I had to battle with my mind. I had the best association. But I wasn't with them. I was mainly going out, Sankirtan. In many ways, I hurt myself in the process because I never regulate. Although I was doing something good, but it was not regulated. I was going for 6 hours out in the city. I'm bombarded with the material energy. I thought I was strong. I was doing everything externally okay. And then, after some time, when the material energy gets into your mind, it tells you, you need to do this, you need to do that, you need to do this. But it was good in a certain sense because at least I knew I had to actually take care of my parents in a different way and still continue to serve Krishna. So that worked out. Yeah, but the point to that is, your spiritual master is the answer. You become sincere to your spiritual master, so your spiritual master will reveal everything. Not only the holy name, chanting, much more. He'll give you Krishna in so many different... What Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, he worships me in intimacy and is united with me in yoga. So the spiritual master makes all that accessible. He actually makes that opportunity for you to unite with Krishna, Radha and Krishna in that service. It's very powerful. I'm only speaking what's in the book. But in terms of experience, practically nothing as yet. But I have experience in chanting. That I can tell you. I've experienced Krishna through His holy name. That's why I'm still here. And I'm sure you asked the question, but you are probably experiencing Krishna. Otherwise you wouldn't be here if you're not. Chanting for so long is not possible that you are not experiencing any relationship with Krishna. It's not possible. You will probably leave in the first week if it's not working. Right? Or in the first month. Me, it never worked in a couple months. It took me 1 year to give up smoking. But I continued chanting. I remember I went to New Jagannath Puri temple. And I stood in that garden. No, I wasn't on that level. So anyway, I went to Jagannath Puri temple. And it was His Holiness Bhakti Charu Maharaj's Vyasa Puja. So the disciples, Chandrakanta, he invited me to come. Because I didn't have a guru at that time. And, So he probably thought, hey, maybe do some service for Maharaj, but he had good intention to take me there. So I was chopping the vegetables, but this craving was coming. I said, hey, I must have the cigarette, but I had it in my pocket. And I'm looking at everybody, I'm thinking, these people have been chopping these things for hours and no break. So I said, hey, I told Prabhu, it was, what's the Prabhu's name? Doctor. What's his name? No. Not Umakanta. Huh? Jaganandana Pandit Prabhu. Yeah. He was there. He was looking at me too. He was saying, when you first come to Krishna consciousness, you look like a suspect. So I think he might be saying, hey, this guy is going for escape. So I went in the garden. I told him, Prabhu, I'm going to come back. I just need to go for fresh air. But he looked at me, I could check. He knew this is after something. Not knowing that Prabhanu is in the garden. But he was on the other side of the tree. I couldn't see him. So I took the thing out, I lit that cigarette and I started smoking it, but I was hiding it. But Krishna has all ways to expose you. So Prabhanu walked towards me. And then I'm looking from that side. Then I got the cigarette behind my hand like this. And I got it behind my dhoti. Not my dhoti, I was using jeans, I think. I wasn't using dhoti at that time. But I could feel the heat coming up. And the cigarette. And he was talking to me. But this thing, the flames, the smoke was coming behind my back. And he stood there and he talked to me. He spoke with me until the thing burnt out. And I said, didn't work. Didn't work so well because I only had maybe 2 puffs from it. And then he came and he spoke to me all the time. He never even told me what you're doing is wrong. I actually respect him for that. He didn't. And I went back and I washed my hands. And I went back and I continued cutting the vegetables. Nobody told me anything. Prabhanu knew what I was up to. But he didn't come back and say, hey, you're going to contaminate everything. Yeah. So that was an act of compassion. If he probably blasted me, I wouldn't have been sitting here and even speaking. Because I had a heavy ego. I would have said, hey, this is Hare Krishna's, But he was very compassionate towards me, and that I'll remember. He never ever spoke about it. Even up till now when he sees me. He'll have so many good things to say, but he'll never speak about that. So, thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki, Shri Radha Radhanath ki. Sorry? One more.
Should we stop or continue tomorrow?
I think you got something esoteric. No, say, speak, Prabhu. It's okay.
Since you're in this mood, I certainly speak. In 1995, I went with my son Vidura to Vrindavan. And it so happened that I lived at my Guru Maharaj's house, Giriraj Swami. And next door was Govinda Maharaj living. And because Govinda Maharaj used to come quite often to Port Shepstone after Rath Yatra, and we became like friends. And then we invited him. I said, let's do something. Got our god sisters and brothers. And so we got all the veggies and everything prepared, prasadam, and we invited Govinda Maharaj to come and have prasadam with us. So he came through and we were always sitting and the devotees were starting to serve us. And then all of a sudden, Mother Jadurani, Prabhupada's disciple, the painter, the artist, she came through to the door and she said, Maharaj, we have a problem. What is the problem? Asked Govinda Maharaj. Your disciple from Russia is giving us a lot of problems here. He is complaining and harassing devotees all over here. Where is he? Asked Govinda Maharaj. He's somewhere here. Please call him. So we were taking prasadam, and then she somehow found him and brought him and came through. This Russian devotee came through the door. He stood there, and Govinda noticed him. Said, so she said, Maharaj, this is him. I don't know his name, but anyway, Govinda Maharaj said to us, could you just move aside, please, give some space? He said, okay, you can come and sit here next to me. So he brought him next to him, and then he said to the devotees, bring his plate, put the prasadam in there. So they brought the prasadam, put him in there, put it, and he said, and we started to eat. So we're looking, while I'm eating and I'm looking, I'm next door to him now. So this devotee was pushing it, really, having it. And he was almost finished, and Govinda Maharaj said, bring more prasadam, please. Put. So he's heaping it up again. He said, put more. The chapatis. Right, this devotee was looking at Maharaj, and we were just watching, slyly. So this devotee was eating. But he was battling a little. Finally he finished. Maharaj said, more prasadam, please. Put. The devotee said, disciple said, Maharaj, I'm full. I'm the Guru, said Govinda Maharaj. You listen to me. Put more. So over there loaded it. Chapatis, whatever you want. You have to finish that. The guy really battled. He battled. You could see that he wants to take out. But finally he finished it. Right. What's the problem? I believe you've been harassing devotees, and this is a story, that story. Giving problems to devotees. Maharaj, there is no problem. Everything is over. So prasadam is one of those things that can help. If you have any problems, anything, that prasadam will finish all your problems. This is one of the things that can help. Prasadam. It's quite powerful. Another time, just one more, in Mayapur, they were asking all the devotees, the senior devotees, to come and sit on stage and eat prasadam. So all the gurus were there. And I was thinking, what should I do? Should I go there? Well, I'm a pensioner. I said, no, I will sit at the floor. So I sat between some devotees, and there were some Chinese in front of me. And there was a little baby there. And we were taking prasadam, and that little baby was, pulling the mother's sari on the back and taking prasadam. Mother is not watching it. So I said to the lady across, watch there. This guy, this devotee next to me, an elderly person, he shook me like this, said, could you stop that, please? I was disturbed, and I'm trying to help there. And he said, could you just stop that? He was from Mayapur, you can see, Bengali. So I kept quiet. Then I noticed that baby giving more trouble, pulling the plate and doing this. And I said to her, just watch it. He said, if you do this again, I'm going to get up and stop eating, and I want to get out from here. Stop it. Then I realized that by taking prasadam, we should honor that prasadam. Although you're trying to help, we should honor prasadam. Stop talking unnecessarily. So I learned some lessons there, Sorry about this taking time.
No, thank you, Prabhu. Prasadam and deity worship must go, because you must offer the bhoga to the Lord. Yeah, if it's done properly, and if all this is done according to how the Acharya wanted us to do it, then the effect is very transcendental. Even the honoring of the prasadam, if you watch the videos of Srila Prabhupada honoring prasad, you see he turns everything to the wall, because he doesn't want anybody to disturb. And he eats. You can see every handful he actually takes And the way he puts it in his mouth, everything, the reaction, is like you can just sit and watch Srila Prabhupada all the time. Just honoring Prasad, it's such a wonderful activity. Yeah, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. If you want to know about Prasadam, then Gopal Raj will show you. You have to be invited, but